My name is Amanda Irvin, and I am so proud to be a part of the Peer Mentor group this year. We are here for our onboarding session number 3, Building Community in Grad School and the Graduate Peer Mentor Program. We have our speaker today, Daniela McGonigal, and Daniela is our Outreach GA. We also have Regina here on the call, who is going to be supporting Daniela in our first session as peer mentors that we are taking over. So that's really exciting. So I will be here kind of in the background managing the chat. If people do have questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and Daniela and Regina will answer your questions at the very end of the session today. But with that, I am so pleased to turn it over to Daniela, and she will take us through our slides. So Daniela, over to you.
Thank you, Amanda. Hello, everyone. Nitaniko Daniela. My name is Daniela, and I will be your onboard session host for today. Regina and Alexa, hopefully if Alexa joins, they'll be the co-hosts and answer any questions you might have at the end. This session is all about how to build a community with your fellow graduate students and learn a bit more about the basics of the Peer Mentor program. So without further ado, let's get started. So welcome to Building Community in Grad School and the Peer Mentor Program Introduction. I'm your RAD Outreach Assistant, Daniela McGonigal. Perfect. So we will be covering the following topics: land acknowledgement, introduction, grad school, what now, your peer mentors, the basics, building a community on campus and in Lethbridge, resources at your fingertips, finding support and connection with fellow grads, and extra advice. So just so you know who I am, I'm your Outreach GA. So I'm your hype man. I'm here to make you extra excited to come to events put on the SGS, as well as maintaining in-person outreach in graduate student spaces to promote the School of Graduate Studies programs and peer-led activities. As you can see, I'm the trumpet man, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a laugh. So this is a combination of the university's land acknowledgement and my own from when I worked as a tour guide at Heritage Park. So Oki, and welcome to the University of Lethbridge. We acknowledge that the University of Lethbridge campus is located on traditional Niitsitapi Blackfoot Confederacy territory. The culture and traditions of the First Nations peoples have been woven into the fabric of the university, enriching our programs, teaching, and research. We are committed to recognizing the Blackfoot and other First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people who are an integral part of our university community. So welcome to the University of Lethbridge and your journey as a grad student. You should be very proud that you're here. Graduate student probably seems way too scary at this moment with so much information swirling around in your brains. And everyone needs support in university, even graduate students. So these next slides will give you a bit more information about the resources and the pre-mentor program so you don't feel so lost on your first day of grad school. Now, I did want to find some meaningful quote about success in your graduate journey, but I prefer the quirky, funny quotes that make the journey a bit more relatable. This is an old vaquero saying from Mexico. In Mexico, a vaquero is a cowboy or a cattle herder. The saying goes, El que nace patamal, del cielo le caen las hojas. It translates to, if you're born to be a tamale, the leaves will fall from the sky. It means if it's meant to be, even if you don't believe it, things will fall into place. I think this encompasses a lot of our feelings perfectly. Many of us as graduate students go through a sort of imposter syndrome, thinking that we're not even meant to be here because why would our opinions or research even matter? Or maybe you'll think at some point, I never had the grades, or my teachers never thought I'd amount to getting into graduate school because I can't seem to understand academics. But if you're meant to be here, everything will fall into place, whether it's your supervisor, who is the most supportive and understanding supervisor, or you win a big research competition that validates your feelings and helps you feel like you matter as a graduate student. The tamale is a popular dish in Mexico and other parts of Latin America, and it goes back to pre-Columbian times. Tamales are wrapped in plant leaves, such as corn husks or banana leaves. That is, for a set of ingredients to fulfill its destiny of becoming a tamale, heaven will provide the necessary leaves to complete this dish. So grad school, what now? You made it. You're the cream of the crop, the best of the best. You don't get told that often enough, and you will sometimes feel the complete opposite of that. So take advantage of the resources on campus. You've paid for them, so they're very important. And you honestly, you get to pursue one thing that you're really passionate about, but it's not an easy road. One thing can snowball into several things within that thing. Think of it as Inception, that movie. So, onto peer mentors, the basics. Your peer mentors are your helpers during your first year of graduate school. They offer you guidance, their institutional knowledge, and the support on a personal level that can help you understand the common struggles and experiences that all graduate students go through. Helping students navigate graduate life is their primary goal. They connect students, provide practical tips, and foster a sense of belonging during the transition into graduate studies. They do not act as a counselor or crisis responder or intervene in supervisory or grievance matters. That is not what they are here for. They're here to contribute a welcoming and inclusive graduate community. They are also here to help you thrive as a graduate student and to help you feel at home in the grad community. And throughout the school year, they make sure to be here as a support network and to help you feel a little less alone and to answer any questions or concerns you may have. So building community on campus and in Lethbridge. If you're like me and the rest of the crew, you might be feeling a little bit nervous about starting your studies in the fall. There's so much information you need to know that it's probably easier to hide out in your room or the library and focus on your studies. But that's not all there is to being a graduate student. You also need community, whatever that looks like. So as you can see, there's lots to see and even more during on-campus events. There are over 90 student clubs you can join, including Medieval Club, Craft Club, and Board Game Club. There are even political clubs that you can join if that's your interest. Throughout the year, the English department also puts on creative writing and open mic nights if that is your passion, and you get to meet like-minded people. The library also hosts a living library where you can borrow a person and learn about their culture. It has now grown to 60 students from 15 different countries, and the library hosts many different events to help you unwind and relax. Now, all Lethbridge students are eligible for a free ticket with their student ID at the box office for any Faculty of Fine Arts concerts and main stage productions. So definitely take advantage of that if you like the theater or would like to relax for a bit of a night. There are also several student art galleries on campus, including the Dr. Margaret Marmee Perkins Hess Art Gallery and the Helen Christou Gallery that puts on several different exhibitions throughout the year. Now, two important events I do want to make known are the 3-minute thesis competition, where graduate students have just 3 minutes to share their thesis research with the wider academic world. And they compete on a national level for fame and fortune. It's a wonderful way to share the research that is important to you, and then you can have a reason to brag about yourself on your CV. The other event is the Meeting of the Minds Student Conference, where students of all levels share their research and network with other students. These are just 2 events that you can put on your CV and build your academic career, which is very important as a graduate student. And there's also lots of opportunities to join the Graduate Student Union to make your voice heard and put an amazing opportunity, again, on your CV. So there's lots to do in Lethbridge. There's Whoop Up Days, which are coming up August 19th to 23rd at Fort Whoop Up. There are the Nika Yuko Japanese Gardens, which is a lovely walk in nature and different themes to each season. We also have Christmas night markets and artisan markets throughout the year, so you can go out and explore different artists. We also have amazing cuisine around Lethbridge. We've got Mama La, which is Vietnamese, and it's very good. We've got tacos made in Mexico, Mexican, obviously. Bourbon and Butter, which is kind of like a fancy cafe, and countless others that you can explore around Lethbridge. We also have the Canada Day fireworks. We have the Galt Museum where you can explore and even volunteer if you'd like. And we've got the Helen Schuler Nature Center, which you can explore about different wild birds and such. We also have Waterton, Frank Slide, Head Smashed and Buffalo Jump, and so many national parks and museums around the area. And you can even cuddle the two resident cats at Analog Books, Copper and Hugo. So they are very welcoming to everyone. Now, these are just some of the resources at your fingertips. There are many other resources that are available to you, but these are just a few that in my mind are important to us as grad students. We've got the counseling services, which are in Anderson Hall and Lower Turcotte Hall, the Accommodated Learning Center in the Student Union Building, and where if you have some sort of impairment or disability, you can actually get accommodated learning and accommodated support so that you can do a little bit better for yourself. But it's so that they can support you as you start your journey as a grad student. We also have the Graduate Student Union, which I'm not going to go too much into because we've got an upcoming session all about that. We've also got the University of Lethbridge Library and their 24-hour study space so that you can study and work on your grad work in a quiet, peaceful place all night if you need to. We also have the Graduate Student Lounge, which is in Markin Hall on the 3rd floor, where you can actually go to a space completely dedicated to graduate students so that you can find a little bit of a quieter space if you need. We also have the University Health Clinic in the Student Union building. So if you ever need to go into the clinic at all, you can do that. We also have several food for thought initiatives, such as the Bodega and surrounding free food pantries in the Student Union building and around campus. And we've got the Lethbridge Public Interest Research Group, which does a number of operatives, but they have a fresh produce delivery. So boxes of free fresh produce brought in every month, and registration begins at 1 p.m. while supplies last. We also have the Campus Roots Garden, where you can volunteer in the campus garden and help tend to a garden plot. And we also host many food literacy programs. So if you are interested in that, you can take advantage of all that. So those are just some of the resources. You can also take advantage of the on-campus gym and Max Bell Aquatic Center for relaxation and stress relief. You can also take part in many free events like yoga or meditation throughout the year. Oh, and before I forget, we also have the SGS, the Graduate Studies Department portal, so that you can check out events, thesis writing research, thesis writing resources, and more. So that is that will help you succeed for sure. Now, finding support and connection with your fellow grad students. Come to events hosted by us. It's a great way to increase and grow your personal development or networking skills. And it's for your own relaxation and keeping a hold of your sanity during the most stressful parts of graduate school. If nothing else convinces you, the free food might, because everyone loves free food. Now, as you can see from the little meme I put on, don't be like this meme, no matter how funny it is, because it's not funny when you lose your sanity over thesis rewriting. Now, for extra advice, no one's journey is the same, so don't be worried about finishing with everyone else. The journey and the lessons you learn is what grad school is all about. It's not a race, it's a marathon. Community is necessary in your success as a grad student and as a human, so find one or create one. It really helps. Don't be a hermit. Make your community. As well, talk to your peer mentors or someone if you are struggling. So you're not alone. Most of us feel the same way as everyone does, especially grad students. And one last thing, counseling may seem stupid at first, but it's really not. It really helps to just talk to someone, even if you're having just one problem, but it really does help. So now that you know the basics of building community and the Peer Mentor program, I hope you feel a little bit more confident about beginning your new journey as graduate students. And remember, you don't have to go through this alone. You've got a huge section of resources and even more at your fingertips. And we in the Peer Mentor program, including me, are happy to help you out and answer any questions you have. I will say that this will be the best 2 years of your life, maybe even 3 years. But you are not like undergraduate students. You have a lot more responsibilities, and the undergraduates will look to you for advice. You've entered a weirdly wise and ancient part of your life, but you'll have a lot of fun. As you can see from the cool memes I've created, it's all part of the fun of crafting your master's thesis and then spending months writing and rewriting. So let's just say it's a very fun roller coaster you are on now. So thank you. And as well, at the end, you can have the resources of contacting us if you ever have any issues. So thank you, everyone. And yeah, I guess we'll take any questions you might have.
Yeah, are there any questions that folks have? Please go ahead if there are. You can unmute and ask if you have a question. We'd love to hear from you. Okay. Okay, so in the chat, I have popped a number of resources in here for everybody. So of course, our email address to reach any of us here on the Peer Mentor team, sgs.peermentor@uleth.ca. I've also added a link to the Peer Mentor page on the University of Lethbridge website, as well as the events calendar. So if you're wanting to sign up for the rest of the onboarding sessions, that is where you can find them. So I will do one more kind of call for questions before we give you back your day. So any questions that you would like to ask Regina, Daniela, and myself? Okay. Daniela and Regina, thank you so much for planning our onboarding session 3. You did an absolutely wonderful job. It was so nice to hear from you, Daniela, and thank you for, talking to us about these resources and reminding us that it's not a race, right? It's us versus us as graduate students, and it really is a wonderful, wonderful way to spend a couple of years. So thank you so much for all of your encouragement.
Of course. And
Okay, well, I hope
one
it.
last
Oh, go ahead,
oh,
Daniela.
sorry, one last
No,
thing.
it's
I
okay. Go
think
ahead.
we all kind of think we need to do this by ourselves. I know that
Mhm.
I struggle with that. We think that it's just up to us. If we don't think we need to ask for help, we don't. So all the resources are there for you to use. And also another resource, your supervisor. Your supervisor is, if you have a wonderful supervisor, which they're all wonderful, but they're the most supportive and understanding part of our journey. So if you have any concerns or anything, your supervisor is your resource because I can imagine all of us want to do really, really well on our master's thesis and on our defense if we do have a defense. So yeah, I think that's the main thing. Don't be afraid to ask for help and don't be afraid to rely on others. That's why we're here. So yeah.
That's great. That's great. Thank you, Daniela. Well, we hope to see everybody in person on campus in the fall. We will be there. We will be set up at a number of events throughout the year. Please pop over, say hi. We hope to see you at the next onboarding session on June the 25th at the same time. So please do register for that next session. And thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate it.